Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 7.
I was on the top. Thank you.
I never lived a life I didn't want to live. Those words from Sly Stone's 2023 memoir echo now with deeper meaning as the world remembers one of music's boldest pioneers. At 82, Sly Stone has passed away peacefully, closing a remarkable chapter in the story of American culture. Born Sylvester Stewart, he grew up surrounded by music, singing gospel with his family in Vallejo, California. But it was his fearless spirit and inventive mind that carried him far beyond those early harmonies. By the late 1960s, Sly and the Family Stone was not just a band, it was a movement. They broke every rule and reshaped every sound. Their performances blended funk, rock, soul, and psychedelic styles, all while championing messages of unity, love, and justice. With timeless hits like Everyday People, Family Affair, and Stand, the group helped define the late 60s and early 70s. More than just hitmakers, they were cultural trailblazers, one of the first major mixed-race, mixed-gender bands to reach mainstream success. Their legendary appearance at Woodstock remains a historic moment in live music. Sly's gifts went far beyond catchy hooks. He understood the heartbeat of a generation. Few artists captured the tension and hope of their time quite like he did, setting it all to a groove that made people move and think. His influence echoed far and wide. Prince, George Clinton, Michael Jackson, Miles Davis, all saw something in Sly's fearless originality that lit something in themselves. George Clinton once said, "He was the black version of the Beatles, all of that in one person." Though his later years were marked by personal struggles and time away from the spotlight, the respect for Sly never faded. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the 90s, he lived to see a new generation discover his sound. He is survived by his children, who carry forward his spirit and story. The music world says goodbye to a visionary whose work pushed boundaries and brought people together. Sly Stone lived out loud, on his own terms, and the world danced to his beat, tributes to Sly Stone. Number 6. Mike never looked for the spotlight, he chased the truth and brought it home, said a longtime colleague. Mike Campbell, a voice trusted by thousands across Detroit, passed away peacefully at 65. He spent nearly 30 years asking the hard questions, standing in the rain at crime scenes, and celebrating community triumphs. For the past 7 years, listeners knew him from WWJ News Radio 950, where his calm, steady updates were a morning staple. Born and raised in Michigan, Mike had deep roots in the state he loved. He studied journalism and never strayed far from his mission to inform, connect, and serve. Whether covering local government, breaking news, or human moments tucked into city corners, Mike was known for reporting with both accuracy and heart. In one standout moment, Mike helped locate an 89-year-old missing woman during a live report. That story alone showed who he was. A journalist who cared deeply about people, not just headlines. Colleagues say he had a natural way of making others feel heard. A quiet force behind the scenes, Mike mentored young reporters, shared stories from his boating adventures, and always had time for a joke, usually with his signature dry wit. Even outside the newsroom, Mike carried that same integrity. He found peace in northern Michigan's wild beauty, especially Marquette and its lake views. He never lost his curiosity or his reverence for telling someone else's story right. The Oakland County Road Commission remembered him by saying, "Mike was truly one of a kind. He was a solid journalist who reported the facts with integrity." Many others echoed the same, from lawmakers to co-anchors, all praising his professionalism and kindness. Mike passed away following a short health-related issue. His family, including his wife Terry and their children, have asked for privacy during this time. He leaves behind a legacy of trust, storytelling, and compassion, an example for every journalist who follows. Tributes to Mike Campbell. Number 5. When I write, I start with the ending. I must know how it finishes. That was Frederick Forsyth's approach to storytelling. Precise, gripping, and always ahead of its time. He passed away at 86 after a brief illness, surrounded by those he loved. But his stories endure. Forsyth's impact reached far beyond the page. With sharp insight and a journalist's eye, he changed what readers expected from political thrillers. His breakout novel, The Day of the Jackal, written in just over a month, took the world by storm. It wasn't just a bestseller, it redefined the genre. He followed it with The Odessa File, The Dogs of War, and many others that sold millions and inspired major film adaptations. His writing was bold, clear, and deeply informed, thanks in part to his own remarkable life. Before becoming an author, he was the youngest pilot in the RAF. He reported from the front lines of war as a journalist. Later, he revealed how his covert work with MI6 influenced his plots. Few could blend first-hand experience with such suspense and precision. Forsyth's stories weren't just thrilling, they were credible. Real events shaped his fiction, and his fiction made readers curious about the world. Even late in life, he remained committed to his craft. A brand new novel, Revenge of Odessa, written with fellow author Tony Kent, will be released soon. It's a final chapter in a legacy that spans decades. His publisher called him one of the world's greatest thriller writers, and it's easy to see why. Forsyth made complex geopolitics thrilling and readable for millions. With clean, fast-paced prose and unforgettable plots, he brought readers closer to the shadows behind global headlines. He inspired a generation of writers and thrilled generations of readers. Yet beyond the books and accolades, he was remembered for his wit, warmth, and relentless curiosity about the wider world. Frederick Forsyth reinvented the thriller. But more than that, he gave us reasons to turn each page. Tributes to Frederick Forsyth. Number 4. It's not about the number of winners, Peter Easterby once said. It's about doing justice to the horses. That simple belief shaped the life and legacy of one of Britain's greatest horse trainers. Peter Easterby passed away peacefully at the age of 95. His departure marks the end of an era in racing, one forged in the fields of Yorkshire and etched into the history books of British sport. From a modest start with just a handful of horses, Peter built a Hall of Fame career. Over 46 years, he trained an astonishing 2,513 winners, making him the only trainer in British history to saddle over 1,000 winners, both on the flat and over jumps. His horses filled the winner's enclosure in nearly every major race. Night Nurse and Sea Pigeon made history with champion hurdle doubles. Alverton and Little Owl claimed Cheltenham Gold Cups. His touch extended to speed and stamina, and everything in between. Peter was a farmer at heart, with a quiet instinct for animals. A Yorkshireman through and through, he let results speak louder than words. His stables at Great Hampton became the heart of a racing dynasty, one still thriving today under his son Tim. Colleagues often praised his sharp eye and even sharper character. "Peter had a gift," said one fellow trainer. "He could see what a horse needed before anyone else, and he always stayed true to his values." He didn't seek the spotlight, but the racing world never stopped admiring him. With 3 champion trainer titles and countless winners in top handicaps, he became a guiding figure for future generations. Peter Easterby's legacy goes beyond statistics. He mentored his family, gave opportunities to others, and treated every horse with care and respect. His influence is still felt every time one of his protégés sends out a winner. He died after a short illness, surrounded by family and the land he loved. His contribution to British racing, and the values he stood for, will never be forgotten. Peter Easterby leaves behind a family steeped in racing tradition, a community grateful for his wisdom, and a sport forever shaped by his hands. Tributes to Peter Easterby. Number 3. The fittest referee we have ever seen on the national and world scene. Those words from Keith Hackett captured more than just Uriah Rennie's physical endurance. They spoke to a life defined by discipline, purpose, and courage. Uriah Rennie, who passed away at the age of 65, forever changed the landscape of English football. As the Premier League's first black referee, he didn't just officiate matches, he broke barriers. From his debut in the top flight in the late 90s, to more than 300 games on the biggest stages, his confident presence earned respect across clubs and fans alike. But his story didn't begin or end with football. Born in Jamaica and raised in Sheffield from the age of 6, Rennie first picked up a whistle in local leagues back in 1979. His rise was one of unwavering commitment and genuine love for the game. In 2000, he earned his FIFA badge and brought his talents to the international stage. Known for his fitness, fairness, and calm judgment under pressure, Uriah commanded the pitch, not with force, but with principle. Away from football, he lived another life equally focused on justice. For nearly 30 years, Rennie served as a magistrate in Sheffield. Where he once safeguarded the rules of the game, he later ensured fairness in the courtroom, often dealing with youth and community cases. His ability to move between stadiums and courtrooms was remarkable, and few matched his dedication to both sport and civil service. In late 2024, while on holiday in Turkey, Rennie began experiencing severe back pain. Doctors soon discovered a rare neurological condition that left him paralyzed from the waist down. Though the illness was inoperable, Rennie fought hard through therapy, slowly regaining some movement, and continued to inspire everyone around him with quiet strength. His partner, Jane, and family thanked the medical teams and loved ones who stood beside him in his final weeks. "He'll be so sadly missed," she shared, echoing what so many felt across the country. Tributes poured in from the Premier League, the Football League, and beyond. Uriah Rennie didn't just officiate matches. He made history and led with integrity, on and off the field. Tributes to Uriah Rennie. Number 2, a film is like a painting, Vladimir Smutny once said, but it moves, breathes, and feels. Few knew how to make a movie breathe like he did. At 82, Vladimir passed away peacefully after a brief illness, leaving behind a legacy that shaped Czech and European cinema for more than 5 decades. His passing marks the end of a brilliant era in visual storytelling. Raised in Prague by a family of photographers, art ran through his veins. After graduating from FAMU, he sharpened his eye not only through the lens but through every frame he touched. He believed every shot should have heart, something felt, not just seen. Vladimir worked with many of the Czech Republic's finest directors, but his collaborations with Jan Svěrák and Václav Marhul stood out. His lens helped bring Kolya to international acclaim with an Oscar win. Dark Blue World and Empties showed his sensitivity, while The Painted Bird revealed the depth of his artistic courage. He called it his magnum opus. For that film, he used black and white film stock, blending old and new techniques to create something timeless. That approach earned him honors at Camera Mage and respect from peers across the world. Over his career, he won 8 Czech Lion Awards. But perhaps his greatest reward was watching young cinematographers find their voice through his mentorship at FAMU. He taught not just technique, but how to tell stories with honesty and soul. Actress and sister Jitka Smutna remembers him as calm, thoughtful, and endlessly curious. His colleagues called him a quiet visionary. His camera never shouted, it simply listened. Even in silence, Vladimir's images spoke volumes. His ability to evoke emotion through a single frame will echo in film schools, cinemas, and living rooms far beyond his lifetime. Though he now rests, his films remain alive, each one a window into what he saw, what he felt, and what he loved. Tributes to Vladimir Smutny. What's trending on the internet? News 1. Let's take a moment to remember Charles W. Miller of Kentucky, a dedicated community leader and longtime public servant who touched many lives over the years. Born in Tompkinsville back in 1939, Charles Miller spent decades championing education, first as a high school principal, and then as a beloved representative for District 28 in southwest Jefferson County. From 1998 to 2023, Mr. Miller served faithfully in the Kentucky House of Representatives, always putting the needs of students, families, and neighbors at the forefront. Known for his deep roots in education, he started out as principal of Pleasure Ridge Park High School before stepping into public office, a role he held with the utmost integrity and compassion. Charles Miller's devotion went beyond the classroom and the Capitol. He was a proud husband to Carmen, a loving father of 3, and an active member of his church and community. Throughout his life, he received numerous accolades for his unwavering commitment to education and service, making a positive and lasting mark on generations of Kentuckians. Though he passed away at the age of 85, Charles Miller's legacy lives on in the lessons he inspired, the students he mentored, and the community he helped shape. Today we honor his memory by celebrating the kindness and dedication he showed to everyone who knew him. News 2. I notice you've asked me to visit a link that isn't available in the search results provided. I can only use the information contained in the search results to craft my response. Based on the limited information available in the search results, I can create a news script about the breast cancer research mentioned in the first search result. A promising breakthrough brings new hope for patients battling aggressive inherited forms of breast cancer. In late May, researchers at Cambridge announced the results of a recent clinical trial that offers encouraging prospects for individuals facing these challenging diagnoses. The clinical trial represents a significant step forward in treating these particularly difficult forms of breast cancer, which often affect patients with genetic predispositions to the disease. This development could potentially change treatment approaches and improve outcomes for countless families impacted by hereditary breast cancer. Medical experts are cautiously optimistic about how these findings might transform care protocols in the coming months. For the millions of Americans who have watched loved ones struggle with aggressive breast cancers, this research provides a beacon of hope that more effective treatments may soon become available. As we continue to make strides against this disease that affects so many families across America, these Cambridge researchers remind us that dedicated scientific work continues to bring us closer to better treatments and, one day, potential cures for even the most challenging cancer diagnoses. News 3. Fans of rookie sensation Caitlin Clark will have to wait a bit longer to see her back in action, as the Indiana Fever star is set to miss her 5th consecutive game on Tuesday against the Atlanta Dream. The 22-year-old phenom has been sidelined with a left quad strain since May 24th, when she suffered the injury during a game against the New York Liberty. Fever head coach Stephanie White provided an update on Clark's condition yesterday, explaining that while she's ready to start ramping back up, the team is taking a cautious approach to her recovery. "We're going to be smart, and we're going to be cautious, and we're going to play the long game and work her back in very intentionally," White told reporters after Monday's practice. This injury marks the first time Clark has missed game action in her collegiate or professional career. Before being sidelined, she was averaging an impressive 19 points, 6 rebounds, and a league-leading 9.3 assists over her first 4 WNBA games, including an electric triple-double in the Fever's win over the Chicago Sky. The good news for Fever fans is that Clark has been cleared to participate in some practice activities, though not everything just yet. With the team's next game after Tuesday not until Saturday against the Liberty, Clark will have additional practice time to work toward her return. Fellow teammate Sophie Cunningham is also working through an ankle injury that has limited her to just 4 games this season. The basketball world remains eager to see Clark back on the court, but her health and long-term success are clearly the priority for the Indiana Fever organization as they nurture one of the sport's brightest young stars. News 4. A Las Vegas mother of 3 is sharing her frightening story after a routine chiropractic procedure left her in constant pain. Carissa Clunt, 41, had been seeking regular chiropractic care after experiencing back pain following breast implant removal surgery. While her sessions had been helpful, everything changed during a November 2022 appointment when a substitute chiropractor performed a neck adjustment. "As soon as it happened, I knew something was wrong," Clunt explained. "You do hear a crack anyway when you get an adjustment, but I knew something had gone wrong." She immediately felt pain in her neck and later experienced nausea when she arrived home. Medical tests revealed a serious condition called vertebral artery dissection, a tear in the artery that runs along her spine, directly caused by the neck adjustment. This potentially life-threatening injury left Clunt bedridden and significantly impacted her daily life. Clunt's experience highlights similar cases reported across the country. Earlier this year, 29-year-old Joanna Kowalczyk from the UK tragically passed away after receiving chiropractic neck treatment for an injury she sustained during a gym workout. Medical experts determined she had suffered an arterial dissection that was exacerbated by the chiropractic procedure. Clunt isn't seeking to assign blame, but rather to raise awareness about the potential risks associated with certain chiropractic procedures. "My life was really put on pause. I absolutely regret going to the chiropractor," she said. "It's not about blaming anyone, it's just about spreading more awareness. I want people to understand what the symptoms are, and that this is a life-threatening condition." Her courageous decision to share her story may help others recognize warning signs and seek immediate medical attention if experiencing unusual symptoms following neck adjustments. Clunt's advocacy serves as an important reminder about making informed healthcare choices and the value of listening to our bodies when something doesn't feel right. News 5. There's something truly special about a person whose dedication creates brighter smiles for generations. Today we're pausing to remember Dr. William Bill Davis, a cherished orthodontist who opened his practice in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, back in 1968. Dr. Davis didn't just help straighten teeth, he opened the very first orthodontic office in both Chapel Hill and Pittsburgh, offering gentle care to thousands of local families from the late 1960s right through the turn of the century. Through more than 5 decades, Dr. Davis's warm presence and skilled hands made a remarkable impact, even inspiring staff members who still carry his legacy of care today. Though he passed the baton to new doctors in 2000, Dr. Davis remained a beloved visitor to the office, always ready with encouragement and wisdom for the next generation. As we celebrate Dr. Davis's life, we remember not just his professional excellence, but his kindness and his lasting commitment to his community, a legacy sure to keep smiles shining bright for many years to come. News 6. What an extraordinary life, a true testament to talent, service, and heart. Today we remember Vladislav Horai, the beloved Ukrainian tenor and honored artist of Ukraine, whose extraordinary voice enchanted audiences from Odessa to London's Royal Albert Hall. For over 30 years, Vladislav was a shining star with the Odessa National Opera, captivating listeners across America, Europe, and beyond. But Vladislav was more than an artist. He was a devoted volunteer, often putting service at the forefront even in the most challenging times. He was in the Sumy region, near the front lines in northern Ukraine, on a humanitarian mission when he sadly passed away at age 61. The opera world has lost an incredible talent, but his colleagues and fans remember him as a man of deep kindness, strength, and unwavering support for his country and community. Just a day before his passing, Vladislav gave a heartfelt performance, leaving behind a final gift of music and inspiration. His legacy will forever be cherished, both on the stage and in the hearts of those he helped and uplifted. Though he is gone, his voice and compassionate spirit will continue to inspire generations. Number 1. She lit up every room she entered with grace, strength, and a spark that made people pause. Patricia Frontman wasn't just admired for what she did, but for how she made others feel. Her warmth was effortless, her spirit unforgettable, and her journey, one of immense courage, resilience, and heart. Born in Maracaibo, Venezuela, Patricia's story began on a stage where she reached the top 8 in Miss Venezuela and went on to become Miss South America, winning hearts across Latin America. But that was just the beginning. With a degree in journalism and a drive to tell stories that mattered, Patricia quickly became a trusted voice in television. From reporting the weather at Noticiero Venevisión, hosting radio shows, and presenting for Latin America, to acting in the telenovela Amor a Palos, she never stopped evolving. Perhaps most admired was her work as a correspondent in New York for Univision's Despierta America and Edición Digital, where she connected with millions across the Americas. Viewers didn't just tune in for her reporting, they felt like they knew her. She was a familiar face, a calm voice, a beacon of hope and positivity. Behind the camera, Patricia faced life's challenges with bravery. When her husband, Dr. Jorge Safar Perez, was kidnapped in Venezuela, she made the bold decision to move to the U.S. with her family. She not only rebuilt a life, she built a legacy. Her kindness stretched far beyond screens. She was a mentor to young journalists, a cheerleader for her community, and always full of love for her children, Sarah and Chini. Patricia passed away at the age of 51, surrounded by family after an illness she kept private with grace. The news of her passing sent waves of sorrow through fans, peers, and friends alike. Her co-host Raul Gonzalez said it best, "These are news we don't like to announce." Fellow journalist Eliangelica Gonzalez added, "May God receive you in his holy glory." Patricia's sparkle will never fade. Her legacy continues every time someone dares to dream, builds a new life, or chooses hope. Tributes to Patricia Frontman. Pippa Scott brought depth and authenticity to every role, illuminating the screen with both grace and grit.